Thinking about identifying your art style can be very daunting. Art styles are sometimes seen as fixed and something that is deeply connected to the artist. I have struggled with this a lot recently, and I've come up with a very different conclusion. Art styles are like moving, living beings, and this has led me to make some different decisions this year. If you're having trouble with art style or finding an art style, this video might be for you, so stick around. I love painting with watercolor. It pulls me in and slows me down, and I like to escape into the process and forget about everything else, because that is what watercolor does for me. Over the years, I have leaned into what I felt drawn to, recreating what I would call almost fairy tale characters from classical storybooks from my childhood. My style is neither realistic nor stylized, but I use an approach that leads me to experiment a lot with exaggerating certain aspects. I often use green and blue in the skin with an intended splotchy appearance. I ended up painting these ethereal portraits, and that became my style. However, that had not been my style before I started using watercolour. The fairy tales and the desire to escape were already there, but my art was more simplified, approachable, quick, less mindful, and maybe less cautious. I was so obsessed with watercolour and watercolour paper that I had abandoned my more impulsive explorations, because you wouldn't catch me sketching impulsively on precious, expensive watercolour paper, which can so easily be damaged when you use an eraser on it. Until I did. And I can't even remember how it all started. I think possibly it was when I started doing drawing challenges again and felt the need to strengthen my drawing skills. I never used to use reference photos, and I wanted to take a tentative step back from having to rely on them so heavily, and working on sketching seemed the first step in that direction. And then I fell down a rabbit hole straight into a sketchbook world. This video is a bit of an open letter to you, my audience, whether you are watching for the first time or you watch every Sunday. Today I am asking for your thoughts and feedback. I have always felt something was missing, that my style was incomplete. Art making is a deep ancestral need, and I didn't want to only get half of the benefits I used to get from this practice, because I was only half expressing who I was. Because the more I worked in the regular paper sketchbooks, the more hungry I got for them, and the more my heart filled with wonder when I looked back through them. Because in those sketchbooks I see self-criticism and acceptance happening all at once, and I also relive my life through them. In those sketchbooks I see who I am, and I forgive myself for all my faults and imperfections as I still stumble and try to find my feet in the journey of life. Those sketchbooks are like me, messy and at times incomplete. For so long, I did not dare to move away from my style. It takes so long to find a style in art that it felt like a really stupid idea to move away from it. Because what then? But what if style isn't just something visual, but also a feeling? I'm sure it starts from a feeling. And I started to think, yes, style is definitely a feeling, and recognising that took the weight of the somewhat stiff concept off almost instantly. If style is a feeling, all you can do is accept it. Today I'm taking a tentative step towards mixing what I thought were two different styles. The one that lives in my sketchbooks and the one that lives on watercolour paper or watercolour sketchbooks, which is basically the same thing. I intermingled my practice and brought the two items physically close to each other to see if they might like to make friends. I always felt the notion that the two could coexist on the same surface was ridiculous and that it would be frowned upon. And I know this is just a tiny step, what I did today in the painting, but it's only the beginning. A lot of you asked me to not stray from watercolour, and I won't, I promise, with a caveat. Watercolour will always be my love, and it's not going anywhere. But I've got more love to give, and I need to give it. If you have been sketching with me because you're part of my Patreon community or you took part in one of my open challenges, you will know as much as I do what our free impulsive sketchbook practice can do, how it can make you bond with yourself and the others who do it with you, how it can make you discover new things about your art, how it can make you grow in so many ways and directions, how much fun it is above all. For me, it has opened a door, and I've decided to stop stressing about style and walk through it and see where it takes me. Am I worried people won't like my work anymore? Yes, but not everyone can like me. Today, you won't see much of a difference in my work, or none at all if you're new to it. But those who have been on here for a while know that I never brought pencil or marker into my watercolour paintings. I would never, and still will never, use it over the skin or eyes of my watercolour portraits, as I don't want to lose the translucency, the transparency of watercolour. I've said it before, today is a baby step, and I have no idea where I'm going. Will I go into mixed media? Technically, this is already mixed media. In the past, I almost felt guilty just adding highlights to my work, and I was even criticised for doing it, which just reinforced the watercolour purist in me. Technically, adding anything that is not watercolour is making me stray into mixed media. But again, it's just a word, like style. Let's just say that my watercolour portraits are trying to sneak into my more messy, more simplified work that until now lived in my sketchbooks. And you can see those sketchbooks in my previous video here on YouTube. I want to somehow bridge the gap between the two, and I have absolutely no idea what that's going to look like. However, what I want to say to you out there who are watching this is your art is always for yourself, even when you show it. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. That defeats the purpose. In this sense, bad art doesn't exist. Bad art certainly doesn't exist in my community. And not because we're all great artists. I'm terrible at landscapes and I can't draw buildings and I don't know the first thing about perspective. Bad art doesn't exist because we are all different and have different ways of expressing ourselves. It's not about performance, it's about connection. And it's hard not to feel judged, I get it. But we all know this already. No one is judging you more than yourself. So I think maybe what I'm trying to say is, will you still like me? Will you still watch me? My dear friend Jan told me, you have to stay true to yourself. And I'm doing just that. And I'm so glad I'm doing it, because those figures riding the birds seem like they have flown out of my sketchbooks and into my more polished art. And it's already feeling more like something is beginning to take shape and becoming more tangible. I'm seeing the first breaks in the road. I also wanted to tell you something, just in case you might have missed it. My watercolor sketchbooks are filled with work that has nothing sketchy about it. It's work that takes time. So don't think these are paintings I do in 45 minutes, because they're not. I know there are some people out there who can do amazing paintings in just like 45 minutes or an hour. That is not me. And if you don't believe me, come and visit us in our Patreon community and sketch messy sketches with us and paint with me, and you'll see it for yourself. Also, it's a great way of making friends with people who also just like to use art as an expression, a release, because that's what it is, since no king has commissioned us to create masterpieces for his castle's walls. We are just like friends meeting up for tea, but also bringing our sketchbooks along. So if you're curious, you can check the description box, and the link is always there. And this was my open letter to you, just letting you know slowly but surely some changes are going to be happening. You might not notice them much in the beginning. I hope you'll stay along for the journey. And please don't let words hold you back. Don't let fear hold you back. It makes no sense. Just be in your art as you are. Just like when we were children and we were proud of every drawing we made. Let's bring a bit of that into our present. That's all from me for today. Thank you for being here. And as always, I will see you next Sunday. Bye for now.